In our first lecture here, our course introduction, I'd like to start by welcoming each and every one of you to the course, Descriptive Statistics in SPSS Step by Step. My name is Professor Ronald Yockey, and I've been teaching statistics courses at the university level for almost 15 years now. I'm also the author of the textbook SPSS Demystified. What I'd like to do is take a few moments to go over the various files that are available for you to download and the organization of the course. So let's begin by going to the Introduction to SPSS lecture. And if I click on that lecture, I'm going to go ahead and pause this. On the right here, I want you to focus on this lecture description. And there'll be a lecture description for each lecture that you should take a look at. But what I want to zero in on here today in this introductory lecture is if you notice down here under Downloadable Materials, we have Data Files, Descriptive Statistics. Now here, what you should do when you begin this course is go to this first lecture, Introduction to SPSS, and download these files. What it is it has the data files for every lecture that we cover in this course. So that will prevent you from having to go and enter all the data on your own. You can just go ahead and open up the data file if you'd like to and replicate the analyses that you see on your screen as you're watching the video, which I highly recommend doing. It's a very good idea to go ahead and replicate the analyses, preferably as you're watching the lecture or at the conclusion of the lecture, whichever works best for you. But in any event, you want to make sure you download these files at the outset, or I highly recommend doing that anyway. Also, for each lecture, you're going to have what's called an output file. And what this is it's the tables that SPSS produces when we go ahead and run a certain analysis, whether it be a bar chart, for example, or a histogram. What I've done is I went ahead and saved the output for each analysis that is illustrated in this course. So if you click on the output file, that will download a PDF file of the SPSS output. Now, I recommend downloading that and printing it up prior to watching the lecture so that you can take any notes that you may want to as you're watching the lecture, which hopefully will be helpful. Okay, so in summary, you want to download these data files, and the data files for the entire course are located in the Introduction to SPSS lecture. And then I recommend downloading the output file, printing that up, and using it for note-taking. One more quick thing here. I can expand this video here, go to full screen, and that makes it a little easier to see. So that may be something that you want to do as you're working through the course. And then if I press the escape key, that'll take me back to the previous screen. Let's go ahead and click on Back to Course. And then here you can see we have a variety of lectures in the course. If I click on the next one, Creating Value Labels for Groups. Notice here we have, go ahead and pause that. Notice here we have our output file once again. So this contains the output, the analyses that we're going to do in this video. It contains the output of those. And in the data file, if you want to go ahead and open this up and not have to enter it on your own, that was found, as you recall, in the previous lecture, which we can also find by going up here if we want to move quickly. That'll bring up the previous lecture. And we can go to next lecture and so on. Okay, I'll go back to course though now. So the lectures are provided in various sections. So we have our Introduction to SPSS here in Section 1. And then we have Charts and Graphs in Section 2. And then we have Central Tendency, Variability, and Z-Scores in Section 3. And then finally, we have a concluding section as well with a concluding lecture. Once again, I'd like to welcome all of you to the course. And I sincerely hope that you find the lectures to be very helpful to aiding you in better understanding SPSS and in producing and interpreting your own analyses.